Good morning, everyone. Obviously been a super duper long time since I've last done a vlog or a video or anything for that matter, and that was possibly because this semester was the hardest semester of my entire life. Anyway, so today I'm going to be making a few videos for some chemistry, year 11 chemistry dot points to upload to the channel, which will eventually go to a website that I'll also be working on today. So right now it's about 8 o'clock. Gonna have some coffee and some breakfast and take you guys along for the ride, go for a run later this afternoon, and then go out for dinner tonight. So pretty cruisy, nice holiday day. I think a big mistake I was making during semester was I was often not eating a ton of breakfast. Now, obviously, breakfast is important, but as well as just being hungry, you're not thinking quite as clearly if you're skipping breakfast or just grabbing a muesli bar or a small piece of fruit as you walk out the door, which was often what I do. I wouldn't eat nothing, but I would eat a very small amount. So I was really focused on getting started with the day. Important just to take 10 minutes, helps your body relax, sit down, and make sure you get some fuel into your body. So another reason why this semester was so difficult as well was because I did 5 subjects this semester. Now, when you're studying full-time at university in Australia, usually the full-time subject load is 4 subjects. Now, I did 4 subjects for the first 2 semesters. I didn't find it, university is hard, but, I justified in my mind with the subjects that I was doing that 5 was definitely possible, and it wasn't going to be like doing 5 and being at a stretch. It was going to be doing 5 and still being able to be competent in all 5 subjects to the highest, my highest capabilities. And the 5 subject thing was working great, right up until sort of the end of the semester when everything sort of started to, when it started to be crunch time, week 8, week 9 kind of thing, where you've got assignments and stuff due. You need to also be studying for finals, and it was just a bit of a stressful experience towards the end. Though, that being said, there was never a point where when I was doing the 5 subjects that I thought that, I'm stressed because of the 5 subjects. It was always just stressed because of one particular thing. It was never like a period in which it would seem like unmanageable to do 5. It was just like I was just stuck on one part of one subject, and that was probably the more difficult part of this semester. The 5 subjects that I did do this semester was analytical chemistry, physical chemistry, linear algebra. Those were the 3 2000 level courses, meaning they were second year courses, so follow on from previous first year courses. And then I did, as some electives, an extra 2, I did the first year accounting course and the first year finance course as well. And those were probably the 2 easiest ones that I did do, although me not having much prerequisite knowledge in that field in terms of stuff from year 11 and 12, it's just sort of general interest, made it a little bit more difficult. But in terms of workload and time that I actually had to spend on those, minuscule in comparison to the other 3. Another reason why this semester was so difficult as well was because on whatever date it was, the 17th of September, I ran my first competitive marathon, and 42 kilometers was hard to run. It was the most physical pain I've ever been in my entire life. I started off at a blisteringly fast pace that I thought I could maintain. I was leading up in my training hoping to do about 3 hours for the marathon. However, as I got closer to the date and uni started to pick up and I wasn't training as much, I realised that was a very unrealistic goal. So I was basically saying, you know, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna run, whatever. If it's under 4 hours, I'll be happy. So the finish time ended up being about 3 hours and 31 minutes, I think. 3 hours 30 something. Or hell, maybe that's a bit generous. Maybe I think it was 3 hours and 36 minutes. However, I was on pace for 3 hours for about 26 kilometers of the marathon. So I went through 5K really fast. It was like 18 minutes something, and I felt cruisy, but that was because I was running with a pack of people, and I shouldn't have been running that fast at that stage of the race. And I went through 10Ks in under 40 minutes, and then I kind of realized that this was menacingly fast. But I still felt really good and felt really comfortable. And then I made the stupidest decisions to say, well, if it feels comfortable, then why not just stick with it? And I was starting to suffer a little bit going through 21, mainly because I kind of stopped and thought that I had to do what I just did all over again, and that wasn't a very appealing thought to me at that time. By the time I got to about 27 kilometers, I blew up. I had cramps in my hamstrings, in my quads, in my calves, in my groins, in my glutes. I think groin calves were the worst. It's just like you can't stretch it out. It's just impossible to get. But yeah, I cramped well up until sort of the 35th kilometer. It was 8Ks of just shit, like intermittent jogging, walking, yelling at the sky. And at that stage, it was still on pace for about 3:15. So I'd only lost about 15 minutes over the 8Ks, which is horrendous in one sense, but not so bad when you view it from an overall perspective. And I got to about 38, and the same thing happened. The wheels just completely came off this time. I didn't want to walk. I just wanted to sit down. I didn't sit down. I kept walking the whole time, but it was about 10 o'clock in the morning. The sun was out. I was on fire. I just didn't want to take another step. And I'll try and find the footage of me crossing the finish line, but I basically come across the finish line and just put my hands on my knees. The reason being because my entire quads on this leg and on this leg just were seized in a cramp that wouldn't let go, and I literally couldn't take any more steps. So everyone was at the finish line like waving, and I had to just stand there because with my hands on my knees because I couldn't actually take any more steps. But that was a tough adventure, I guess. But without a doubt, what the hardest part of that marathon was the training for it. Now I know I said I didn't train as much as I could have, and that's probably the reason I kind of blew up so much during the race. However, I'm doing most of these training runs at about 10 o'clock at night, doing a tempo run for about 10Ks, coming back at 10:40, eating dinner, showering, you know, it's 11 o'clock, doing uni work until like 1 o'clock in the morning. You know, it was a tough first 6 weeks. So, and it wasn't because I couldn't do stuff in the morning, like, you know, I'm staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning kind of thing, doing all this uni work. I'm waking up at maybe 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting ready. You know, I'm doing tutoring in the afternoon after uni or before a night class. I had a night class on a Tuesday night this week, which you would have seen earlier in semester. Like, it was just tough. It was just tough for time. Anyway, that's enough whinging and whining. I'm going to start doing some work on the computer now. It's been like, what's the day today? It's a Wednesday. Been about a week and like 2 days since I've done my exams, and I'm like already itching to get back into it. Like there is something sick and wrong inside of me, because like a week and a bit ago, all I wanted to do was nothing. I would have just happily just laid in bed and done nothing for the rest of time, it felt like. But yeah, now, like, you know, a week and a bit later, I'm like itching to get back into it. I'm reading a new book at the moment. this here. It's called Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind. Well, not that many pages into it, maybe 20 pages. We'll let you know how it goes, but really excited to read it. Heard lots of good things about it. Let me know if you guys have read it too. Hey, haircut all done. Last minute birthday shopping, as always, all done. And now I am gonna go put in some miles. In town, gonna go do 8K tempo run. Should be good fun. If someone was to ask me what the best part about running in the middle of summer is, or not the middle of summer, it's summer in 2 days time, I would tell them that it makes winter that much better. But I'm gonna have a shower over at the uni, which is really close to the CBD, and I suspect a great portion of the shower will be cold. We go to dinner, get some burgers, get some beers. Should be good. The goal now is get some good base back up. I go to Europe for a month in January. I can't imagine I'm going to get a massive amount of running done there, so it's kind of like a big period off. So get as much base as I can now, just try and rack up the Ks, nothing fast, nothing stupid. And then hopefully by the end of March, early April, hit out really solid 10K, and hopefully about sub 35, and then I'm going to try and do a really decent half marathon at the Sydney Half Marathon Festival, which is at the end of May, and then tee up for Melbourne Marathon. This is what I've been running in at the moment, by the way. Pair of, why is the camera so far zoomed in? Pair of Nike Pegasus 34s, Old Faithfuls, always get the job done. Pretty cool colourway as well. Anyway, they've only clocked about 20Ks. Brand newbies. Okay, apologies for how much of a gap there was from the previous video, or previous shot from today, but back home from dinner, awesome burger at the Exchange, $5 burger night, can't beat that. And that pretty much wraps up this vlog. Not super eventful, just documenting what I did today. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.